Paper with two.
It's quicker this way, too.
Great.
Mr. Mayor, Council, my name's Mark Salandro. This is my wife Janet. We live at 303 Meadow Court. You guys probably know that area is Hangman's Hollow. We've lived there since 1989. I want to make 4 quick points, but first, my heart goes out to all the people who have suffered losses. Our issues kind of pale in comparison to people who've lost homes, property. Thank goodness nobody lost any lives during this last storm. The first point is, before I get into the meat of the other things, I just want to shout out to the Public Works, the garbage men. I think we have the finest garbage men in the country.
Thank you.
Agreed.
Yes.
Thank you. We
Never
do.
get rid of our guys.
Yeah.
Never.
We won't.
And
I will fight.
Number 2,
Me too.
Old William Penn Highway, especially near where the Parkway Tavern is and Center Road. I have encountered people from Plum driving on the other side of the road trying to avoid the road because it's paved very poorly. And that's dangerous. Somebody's going to get hit.
You mean Center Road?
Center Road.
Center Road is being repaved.
I understand that, but they're driving on the other side of the road going 50 miles an hour, and all that they're trying to do is beat the traffic to the parkway. And I don't think that they should even be allowed to turn left at that hairpin turn. I've seen people get T-boned there.
Yes.
That's dangerous. I wish that we could do something
As
about
far as
that.
Center Road goes, so you're up to date, which I call the Ho Chi Minh Trail right now, because I think it's better shape than that. I was told that, do you remember, you probably do, there was been about 3 contractors there putting in their new lines so the county can come in and mill and pave it and make it the speedway it's gonna be. And the last company that was there was a subcontractor of the municipal authority putting in a new sewer line. And then they came back and they did the tap-ins. And my information told me that the county engineer came out, did not like what he saw and is going to make them redo it. So here we go again. Some people chuckle and say, well, at least it slows people down, but causes them to drive in the other lane.
Right.
And that's worse.
you know.
If they slow down, it's really not that bad.
Center Road's not ours, it's the
No,
county.
I understand. And when you mentioned the county, I just cringed because I saw what they did at John Nat. It took them a year to pave 500 feet.
Well, my hope is that they settle this repair as soon as possible so the county can get it milled and repaved before winter. But I don't have any guarantee on
But
that.
if there's some way we can,
I kind of agree with you on the left turn.
that's just so dangerous. And all they're trying to do is beat the traffic because you can turn left right before that, and it's an easy turn.
I never understood
Right.
the left turn there because, well, unless you came out of Logan's Ferry or,
Well, that's where we live, and I never turn left there.
I know.
You go straight.
But the problem is as you're making that left turn, the people coming up Old William Penn are stopped, but they don't see the other lane.
There's 2 lanes.
Going straight, and that's when the accidents happen. Unfortunately, we don't have any say in that, just like they were trying to, residents in the past were trying to get either a light or a stop sign at Logan's Ferry,
They said no.
and the county denied it, and they're probably going to deny this.
Actually, we avoid that intersection because it's so dangerous. And
It is.
people are going 50 miles an hour. You can't cross safely. It's dangerous.
Do you have other comments you want to make?
Right.
about-
Number 3, real quickly, like I said, I've lived here 30 years, and I have seen the water at the bottom of Logan's Ferry get worse progressively. It started with the industrial park behind where the municipal garage is. There's a park that was just trees and land. When that went in, it got worse. As time went on, it started to flood at the bottom of Logan's Ferry. Now, 4 inches of rain, I will admit, is a lot, but it is worse now that they've started the housing plan, and their water runoff is happening on dry days. And if they can't control their water on a dry day, how can they control the water during a
So
storm?
not being the engineer, just asking the same questions you did.
But,
That's actually Mr. Wilson's ward, but part of the Logan's Ferry
Right.
Road's actually mine.
yeah, it's weird, it's split.
And at the end of the day, we actually hope that plan helps it because they're putting in 3 detention ponds that'll control the water release. Although I drove down there during this whole thing when I got back in state, and I saw the mud water that you're talking about. So
It starts at the airport, there's a section there, just mud. If they can't control that, I don't think they should be back there moving any dirt until they can keep the water off of that road. On a dry day,
I don't know how
Plus-
they do that, but
Plus, they're not gonna have this plan done by winter time anyhow.
No.
So that water that's coming down there
Will
is gonna
freeze.
freeze.
and that poor man at the
And
bottom of the
that
hill
poor
has
man.
had his house, his
Mailbox.
driveway, his mailbox has been wiped out before, and now.
Bottom of Logan's Ferry.
Mr. Pagliano?
Yes.
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 And now with half a lane of ice, it's going to be worse. And
And then they're gonna wanna go over in that lane.
they already do that, the Plum people, but
Yeah.
we're worried about the water. And it just concerns me that they can't handle a dry day. I drove by there, it hadn't rained for a week, and there was still water coming down in those three sections, especially where the runway to the airport is. I see no reason why they can't stop the water from getting on the road right there. I mean, that's at the top of
I
their
don't know.
stuff.
I don't have any answer.
But,
Okay,
you know,
anyhow, 4.
well, that was kind of 3 and 4. You know, the water runoff and, you know, their ability to control it.
I did see it though.
But we have seen it get worse. And I know you can say it was 4 inches of rain, but I would venture to guess that it would not have been bad had that water not added to the mess at the bottom of the hill, because that water goes to the bottom, and then the water from our plan has nowhere to go. And there was a man who got his, there was a pool that got flooded and a whole house that got flooded because his water had nowhere to go because their water took over. So I would just ask that we keep an eye on them and make sure that they do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, we'll have our inspectors down there. They're down there pretty frequently for other issues, I mean, not issues, but concerns that residents are having. And for the most part, it's my understanding that the builder has been pretty compliant with everything that we are approaching them with. But no, we will definitely have them look at it a
Well,
little more
maybe they're
closely.
just not asking him to fix the things that I'm talking about.
Well, no, this is definitely something that we will definitely look at.
Is there any way to
Absolutely.
keep them, to try to get their drainage to stay on?
Probably more
Off the
silt
road?
socks.
They've been continually working towards that. The Conservation District has made several inspections. They have a punch list of items that they need to address. The water is not supposed to be running down Logan's Ferry. They've encountered some mine water that kind of sprouted out and is giving them some difficulties.
So they've been addressed or presented with that situation?
Correct, and they have a long-term plan to take care of that water.
They have a short-term.
Yeah,
plan to get
long
that-
term is fine, but for the people that are at the bottom, I mean, with this storm that we just had, my neighbor was the one who had to be rescued from on top of her car. She's a 25-year-old girl, and the EMS, everybody who came and helped her and stuff, she had to sit on top of her car for 2 hours.
No, negative.
No, that's what they said.
Who said?
I don't know what they said, but I got the information from the dispatch center. 1 hour and 5 minutes, she was in the ambulance.
Okay, even so, an hour on top of your car.
Well, no, that was an hour from the time of the dispatch till she was out of the water and in the ambulance.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just
But
going by what people
thankfully,
tell me, but anyhow,
thankfully she was
that's
not
a
injured.
very scary thing. It's right at
Absolutely.
the end of our plan. I mean, if it wasn't a young girl that was able to get out and get on top of her roof, who knows what would have
That's why
happened.
we always say, we try to tell people, don't drive through standing
In
water.
30
it's
years,
so
we have
dark down
have
I
there,
know
too.
that,
never
and just like
seen the
we said,
water
lock your
approach
cars.
that
These,
No.
We already have an order in for lights at
We had a
that
meeting
intersection.
about that. Not only going to put up warning signs about the signs, but we're going to put up a street light. We're going to make the guardrail longer.
That's
That-
good,
that'll
that's
help.
good. I'm glad that
That'll
you're
help.
doing something
And
about it.
with all due respect about the plan that this builder has, I hear their machines at 7 o'clock, they start, you can hear the beeping, we're close enough.
I don't know what their
And I've
permits
never
say.
seen a machine work on the water. They're in the back, working on their roads, in their house, in their lot. They should be digging where the water is first, so.
We're to look at it a little more closely,
I think we
absolutely.
need to keep an eye on them.
okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.